Welcome, everyone. Go ahead and hit the like button and share. It is your girl, Cynthia J. Go ahead and hit that like button, share today's podcast on episode 10. Go ahead and hit that button. We're going to be going over some good things today, just a few things. I'm not going to keep you on here too long today. So I'm just glad. How was everybody week this week? How was everybody week this week? For those who are on the East Coast, today was a nice warm day. I was shocked. Today was a nice warm day. So go ahead and hit that like button and share and subscribe. It is your girl, your co-host, and your psalmist, Cynthia J. How is everyone doing today? I'm excited to see y'all guys. Today is Thursday, and guess what? Tomorrow is Friday. I know some of you guys are going to be so excited to get off. Those who work that 9 to 5 job. And for those who don't have a 9 to 5 job and still have to work, kudos. Let's be grateful that we have a job until we accomplish greater things where we can establish our own. Yes. So go ahead and hit that like button, share. Again, remember, I am your co host, your girl, your psalmist, your birthing doula, and your inspirational healer, and much more. Today, we're going to go over a few updated topics, and I'm not going to keep you on here too long, but just to go over a few things. Who recall what happened this Monday? Who recall what happened this Monday? For those who were unaware and had not been affected by it, for those who do know and were affected about it and thought that somebody got hacked, Facebook slash Instagram slash Meta, what's up? All platforms had a halt on Monday. When I tell you they had a halt, people were going crazy and haywire. They thought people hacked their pages. It was crazy. So, for those who are unaware of it, Facebook had some glitches, or I should refer to say Meta had some glitches. This is why it's so important, as they say, don't get too caught up in the whole social media thing, because then you get so comfortable you go through a withdrawal of not knowing how to live without it. For others, that's their platform, that's their businesses, that's the way they advertise, and I get it. But we have to also not just use, social media as our way of promoting our business, making our money, advertisement, etc., etc. Hey, blessings to everyone who's joining in. We also have to be mindful that, it is there just to be there. Let's look outside of the box and don't forget about the original way how we used to do things. So for those again who were affected by social media this past Monday on Facebook and Instagram, it didn't really hit too much on WhatsApp, but it definitely hit on those who were on Facebook and Instagram, where it lyrically, like when I tell you I'm one of them, it hit me because it was just like your thing expired and it told me to hit okay. And I was like trying to not hit okay yet, and I didn't want to, but I had no other choice. So then I just want to hit it okay. And then it took me back to the beginning. And then it was just like, do you want to open up an account? And I see my Instagram and I'm like, what? I'm like, this got to be a glitch. There's no way. So then I get out of it and then I go ahead and retry it again. And it's asking me to log in and make and create a new account using my Instagram. And I said, no, there's something else going on. I knew then it wasn't a hack, but for other people, they believed it to be a hack. So for those again who are unaware of, I know you probably already heard this before, other podcasts maybe and so forth. Or if you have breaking news or you watch the news on TV, you do know that Facebook and Instagram were they all owned by Meta, even WhatsApp, and it basically caused a major glitch. For some people, it did affect. For others, they didn't even notice. It's because we at work. Who gonna think about that? And I had just got off of work, and I was trying to prepare to post for my podcast this week, but I was unable to do that due to the fact of the glitches. So again, me being faithful who I am, I just stuck to my YouTube. I didn't get too caught up into the whole, oh my God, my social media page, oh my God, somebody got hacked. I said, no, something's off, because when it couldn't recognize nothing else, I said, yeah, something's off. And it was still sending me my stuff to my email that I have. And I was like, yeah, something else is going on. It's not that, something else is going on. But it was very quickly that breaking news posted it out there very quick before any other, news broadcast on TV said, hey, this is what's going on. So we know again to learn from our mistakes, that do not get comfortable in just relying on your Facebook and your Instagram as a business way. Make sure you go outside. And for those who are, social media influencers, hey, I know this is your moneymaker, but try to go out the natural way and still, influence people outside of the norm. Go back to the old school way. That's how we used to do it. We used to go back to the old school way. Don't get too caught up in just, using it. Go back to greeting and meeting your neighbors and going into the parking lot just saying hi to somebody, and hopefully they don't look at you like you're crazy. Because people now act like they don't even know what to say or what to do. They get so foolish and don't want to be greeted by people. So with that being said, that was one of the things that happened this week. Again, I'm your girl Cynthia J. Hit that like button and share with a family member right now on some of these updates. Another thing that was very interesting this week, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up too as well. For those who are unaware of this, and I'm just finding this out myself, that they in Washington D.C., our brother with We Act Radio in D.C. had went to one of the went to Congresswoman Norton, and it was said that she locked her doors. Right here, I'm gonna read this real quick. It said Congress Norton locked her doors and called the police and refused to meet with the constitutes for their scheduled lunch meeting. So this is supposed to be a sister in office in the congressman area in DC was supposed to go out here and make some changes, and been in the office business for 34 years, and everything that she was taught by her mentor, she's not even following through. And you have a lot of people in the line there who are protesting, trying to figure out what's going on. Everybody, for some who went out there on Tuesday to vote, it's a lot going on over here in the East Coast. And for those who are on the other side of the West Coast and the Midwest, you see it's a lot going on. So we're preparing for these elections that are coming up, especially this year. And some people went to vote. It even said that I've had people personally tell me themselves that they went to vote, and a lot of the people that were on the voting chart were dropping out. You didn't have too many people to vote on, and so I was like, wow. And it just left. They said Trump up there, and I was like, well, it is what it is. I'm not going to get all into that. I have my my own thoughts, but for those who I did encounter in person, they were kind of disappointed that he was the only person to vote for. However, I said, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. What's going around is coming around. Sometimes we got to go through the storm and the challenges and the trials and the tribulations to make it to the other side, to come with some new, new shifts, a new gifting, a new whole, as people call it, a new utopia, I guess you want to call it. And so, with that being said, again, we got to make the changes. It's the people. We put our trust too much in the politicians, and look, see where the taxpaying dollars are going to. It's not coming to us. And so, with that being said, that goes to show how people are hiding. They also, I'm just finding this out myself as brother speaks out on We Act Radio in DC. He mentions that they have just put out a law that if you go to visit, for people who's not even from Washington D.C., let's say like you're going to visit, or y'all on a tour bus taking a charter bus. I don't know how you're going to figure this out. I'm going to have to figure it out myself. Let's say y'all come in more than a group of 4 people and y'all want a tour. Maybe it's a place there that's you got to go to check in, to have a bigger, larger group for a tour. If you want to walk the streets of DC in certain parts. Now, I would have to look a little bit more into that and get a little bit more information. But they're saying now that if you go into DC with more than 2 people in a group, you will be carded. That means that the police will pull you over, ask you for your ID, and go from there. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Are you serious? You want to bring tourists to the Capitol, but yet you want to turn around and card people because they're going to be in a group more than 2 people? Are you serious? So that's what's going on, guys, for those who are unaware of it. So if you are deciding to travel to the East Coast of Washington, D.C., I advise all people to make sure that you contact the tourist area in Washington, D.C., check in on that. Again, you know how these laws are. Laws will be created, people are unaware of it. Stuff just been not, I was unaware of it. If I'm unaware of it, I know you guys are unaware of it. And I'm from the DMV area. So, with that being said, for those again who are from the DMV area, if you are unaware of it and you're traveling in a large group, let's say you want to travel with your family and y'all want to go, let's say, walk through the White House or walk the streets of DC to see the monument. They didn't say if it's the time added into this or anything. They just said basically that if you are walking with more than 2 people, you will be ID'd and asked to show proof of ID and all other things. And I'm like, wow, are you serious? So that goes to show that the United States of America is not a free country anymore. That goes to show that we don't live in a country that's a democracy anymore. I mean, come on now. People still believe that that exists. That has went out the door a long time ago, way before I was even born. So I go to tell you guys, make sure that you are aware of what's going on so that you won't get caught up in no foolishness, especially to my people. Because we are living in dangerous times. Like seriously, we are living in dangerous times. And this is no joke. You shouldn't have to feel like you have to be ID from a land that you're grassrooted, born and raised in, and then to go visit. It's like now Washington, D.C. is its own separate, own little government. It's supposed to be the main thing of the United States of America, White House, post Capitol, whatever you want to call it. But yet we're sitting up here and we're creating laws, the type of laws that shouldn't even be thought of at this point in time. We should be creating laws that's supposed to help the people. The people are supposed to, us as the people are supposed to go out here and do this together so that we can come to a balance, so that we can build our community. We can't build the community on foolishness. It's very crazy that foolish laws are being created. And the people that we have up here that we are voting for or that we are supporting, some of us, we don't vote. Cool. I'm not knocking you. So that sometimes I don't blame you. For others, you do what you do. But it's going to take us to step outside the box of that to realize that, okay, you know what? We need to be like other countries across where, and I'm not saying all countries are like this, but, for the ones that are, when the people are getting fed up and the people are tired, they shut the country down. They like, look, bump the politician, bump the government, bump the whoever, the diplomat. We are the people. We are the community. We are the ones that bring in the money, the taxpayer, the revenue, all of the above, and shut it down. Because before all of this, the people, before we had all these extra people in these offices and stuff, it was the people. But look what it's doing to us. It's causing so much craziness that people are arguing when it comes to politics. People are arguing over all foolishness and entertaining foolishness. Something got to give. Something has to stop. We can talk that unity, change, all that. We just need to look. We may got our differences, but we need to be like how Malcolm and Martin was in the side to say, we might got our differences. We may not like what we see, but we need to work together on one thing to get this through first. Yes, that's what we need to do. So again, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and share. It's been some crazy stuff going on. I know last week I told you guys, I know y'all heard about the new law passed in Ghana with the LGBTQ plus, where now when you go over there in Africa, in that area of Ghana, that if you bring any of the advocate or any programs or whatsoever to the LGBTQ plus, that you And whoever is trying to promote it or those who are a part of the LGBTQ plus will be locked up and sentenced. You will go to prison. It is not a game. They are not playing. So kudos to Ghana. I know some people are like, hold up, you root for, you know what? I might not agree with everything my brothers and sisters do over in Ghana, but kudos to them because we need to shut that down. You in America right now, the U.S. government is mad at Ghana. Yes, the U.S. government is mad at Ghana for passing that law, and they're not happy that that law has not that they're not budging. Yep, they are not happy. So I don't blame them. For those who are unaware of it, yes, you go on Facebook, go on Instagram, go on YouTube, however you see fit. You will see it up there. It is up there. They are not happy and they're trying to fight back against that. So again, guys, look into that. Please look into that. Also, for those who follow African Empora, they had conversations pertaining to the Ukraine and Russia refugees. Remember during that time when everything hit, a lot of Black brothers and sisters who were trying to flee also, because a lot of people didn't know that there was brothers and sisters in that area, had also been, kicked to the side. They were kicked to the side. They were putting up those who were of other ethnic groups and having them to escape. And now Aporia is saying that those who are of Caucasian has set up a refugees fleeing war setting. And now at places like bars and stuff in Syria, Lanka, it's only for whites only. So you're seeing a lot of things that we incurred during segregation time during our grandparents and stuff are coming right back around. It's always been there, it's been hitting, but it's coming back around. So for those who are unaware of all of this that's going on, it's happening. History is repeating itself. History is repeating itself. Not only is repeating itself over there, it's also repeating itself in Texas. As you guys heard before, the young man who was expelled from his school in Texas because of his hair. Well, they are taking it to the Supreme Court and they're going to take it far because it goes against the Hair Act. And again, there are those who are there who are racially discriminating and doing it on a physical note against brothers and sisters of color and especially, Black Americans. They are causing more of this issue and it's starting to cause where we have to be put in a place where we don't want to. Hey, brother, I see you on. Peace and love. And so with that being said, it's affecting our children. The younger children of outside of the culture of Black American is now being taught to racially profile on these things and use it as a glitch for them to get away with it. And I'm starting to see it even happen in my daughter's school. So with that being said, we need to stick together and stand for what's right. Stand for the universal law right at that as well. Because come on now, all of the hard work that brothers and sisters work for and those who died for us to get back to what we originally were before any of this foolishness, way before our time, way before King and Malcolm's time, and so forth. And yet we can't get there because we still have people that don't want to let go. They still want to keep us in an enslaved mentality, a physical slave mentality, all of the above. So that's why it's very important to know thyself, know thy laws, know the universal laws, know the original laws before, those that came over here and took over North America and stamped on United States of America, which they still do not own to this day, but they swear up and down they do. If you go online, and I thought it was a joke when I heard a brother say that the White House was up for auction, I thought it was a joke. I went and looked it up myself, and I was like, whoa, he ain't joking. So how is it that the people who we have sitting in these seats in Congress, Senate, House of Representatives, all these places, getting away with this stuff? I mean, seriously, how? But you're like, hold on, wait a minute. Cynthia J, this is supposed to be a Cynthia J man. It is a ministry. This is a ministry to encourage still. all the other names called organizations and nonprofits. No, this is a ministry to not just uplift and to encourage, but to keep you updated on what's going around the world. There's so much chaos. There's so much chaos. I can talk about division all day. For what? Because division has been going on for years. That's been the whole motive. That's been the whole agenda. Division has been going on for years. And look what it's doing. So now we got to find another avenue, another way to get around that and focus. Focus on being one. We beg to differ on certain things. We may not agree. But as people living here in America, especially when right is right and wrong is wrong. And for those who see the wrong and you sit there and just lollygag right, you should be shame on you. Shame on you. It's like I was telling a friend earlier, I said, you know how you have those who would say, and I said this to one of the elders who I was helping. And he's a Caucasian guy. And he said, I like you. He said, even my dog likes you. And I was laughing at him. Just laughing because I just looked at him. He said, but you're real. And that's the realest you're going to get. He said, I would never thought the day that I see what I see get worse. And I told him, I said, you know why it's getting like that? Because there's people who's sowing bad seeds and they ain't even trying to reap them. And the ones that are sowing good seeds are reaping them, but they're not staying here long on earth to enjoy it. Because it's only a few of them. Because it says, many are called, but a few are chosen. And there's plenty of people that's out here appointed, but they make the decision, instead of staying on a straight path, they rather go crooked and be entertaining the foolishness. We're all entertaining foolishness every day. When we step our foot outside that door, we don't believe that we are, but we all are entertaining foolishness, guys. We all are. Now, the question is, how long are we going to entertain that foolishness? How much longer are we going to continue to do this? Because now, not only is it affecting us even more, it's affecting our generation of today, up to now. So that is something we all need to take time and pay attention on and get it together. As we hear that saying, as my sister and people would say, you better find your Jesus and you better find it fast. People are like, what you mean? I don't believe it. It's just a saying. Just a metaphor, they say. Better get it together. We need to get it together because this can't go on long enough. Why are we so quick to entertain dramatic stuff, but can't come with good energy, positive love, and help? Get out there and help our people. What happened? We like to hear the craziness, the foolishness, but we don't want to help each other. You see someone fall, but you rather help the foolishness instead of the one that falls. You see the ones that's being racially discriminated, and yet you turn around and you flip it and say, oh no, somebody else being racially discriminated elsewhere. Color itself didn't exist back in those days, way before all of us, even our grandparents, and before that was even born. But you had those corporates. Their ancestors are still living and passing the information along and still using it to talk about keeping people in a certain condition where they stay sleeping. That's why I say people are still sleeping. When you see them make movies like The Walking Dead and all of that, it wasn't just to be making it. These things have a reason. That's just like as I was watching this just on another podcast, and I've been studying too, where she was saying, it's funny how Disney now has brought majority of the corporate things pertaining to the Holy Bible, as they say. And a lot of those who know the prophecy and all the other things that have the old Bibles and so forth or whatever, they started to notice things are being taken out. Everything that we know is being covered up, being hidden. So that's why when you see movies like The Walking Dead, it's talking about those who are still sleeping and who have not woke up yet, realize that we are at a different kind of time. we are still sleeping. And then the ones who are woke now, they so shocked on what's going on, it's overwhelming. I am starting to see people act crazy. I know you guys are. Haven't you noticed when you get on the highway, it seems like it's gotten worse? For those who live in the city, or for those who live in the dual areas, in the rural areas, haven't you noticed? Even going to the grocery store. Back in the day, you could be nice and let somebody get in the parking lot, wouldn't argue about it. People are now arguing on parking lots even more now than what they used to. And then these gangs that other type of gangs that never been here before, new gangs, all kinds of crazy things. It's all over the place. And not just that, just like as I was listening to, for those who knows about Dr. Matthews, an amazing sister out there in Texas, who really is fighting for justice. She helped the sister out earlier, and she mentioned to this sister had said she'd been living in her car. She had been living in her car, and she's starting to see. And she said, "I'm not trying to, make it sound like." And I'm kind of alliterating a little bit of her words for what I can remember. She said she's not trying to make it seem like she's, discriminating or whatever. But she said, "I am an American, grassroots Black American from here." And she said, "How is the migrant slash immigrant?" I don't even know why they put all these little words. They just do. She said, "How are they able to get these jobs? Or they building businesses here just like that. And I've been trying to do that. And I'm living out my car, but they're getting more assistance than me." And she said, "I was praying and I was praying and I was praying. And as I prayed, I said, I'm going to one day meet this sister, Dr. Matthews." And I gave Dr. Matthews kudos. So shout out to you, Dr. Matthews. If you ever see this podcast, a TikTok video, whatever, I salute you, sister. Please send me her information and sister that you posted earlier. And yes, she said she saw her get out her truck and she called out her name and she said she greeted her back. That's love. She's 100% real. That's what we need, real love. We don't need counterfeit love anymore. People don't know how to love anymore. Everything is counterfeit. It's a fake facade. It's a fake facade. And she helped that sister out. I even posted on her platform and said, "Please let me know how I can help send out something to her." I don't have much, but I will help that sister out. Because if it was me, I will help it. If it was the brother, I will help it. When I see people, when I am led to do it, and I can spiritually sense I am led to do it, and they're not out here faking it. But trust me, there are some people out here who are faking it. And some people don't know that they're faking it. It's unrecognizable. And others who have that gift, they can tell. Yet, you see it, you know that they need help, give them the help. Because if it's you and I, we will need it one day. Not we want it one day, we will need it one day. We will need it. So make sure you go out there and we help each other out. Because right now, with all the stuff that's going on with our government, we are being taxed more now than we ever. Think about it, guys. Food costs going up, gas prices, everything is going up. Even the businesses are taxing more that you don't even know about. Because in your area, depending on where you live at, especially if you live in a different county or a different part of the suburbs of the county or city, some places they will only just have the state tax, federal tax, that's it. Now, when you go to other places, you have more than that. You have more than that. You go to other places, you not only got the federal tax, state tax, you got gratuity added and surge tax and tip tax and tax and whoever else knows. Hey, this is like going looking at your check. When you go to work, you get a check. That's why they say, how many of us going to continue to live paycheck to paycheck? Think about it. And then you go look at your paycheck. You be like, what's this new thing on here that you have never seen before? Then you got to figure out what that abbreviation stands for. Go look it up. Half the time, you're not even going to see what it means on Google. Best thing I can do is tell you to call the company you work for and ask them what it stands for. Some people don't even know that their company has their own personal tax and they add it on there and they abbreviate it. Yes. So if you work for any kind of county or any business, they put their own little tax. So you know what they do with that? Some people don't know this. Some people do. they take out of you and tax you to cover their end for what they owe and hold it and build interest on it. So when it's time for them to go pay their taxes, they cover it. And then you got to go claim your taxes and hopefully get it later on when income tax comes.
It's not. When I learned about that, once I found out, I was like, what is this on my check years ago? And I went and I asked them, I called human resource, who is it? What's that? Oh, this is something. What is that with the government itself? Or, oh, that's just something through us. What? Then I found out later on, other people, different jobs, they were having the same thing. And I was like, wow. Wow. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, make sure you know what's going on. Because we, again, for those who are out here, some of us are living paycheck to paycheck. That's why it's so important. Whatever gifts you have, use it so you won't be falling into this foolishness that's going on. Because again, we are on government helping people overseas. I understand. I love helping my brothers and sisters and whoever else overseas. But as this sister said with Dr. Matthews, she said, we need to help here first. We need to help here in the USA first. Because people, they're overseas and they're still being covered up with the fake facades, thinking that America is the land of the free. They lied. America is not the land of the free. Trust me. They have hidden agendas on how they maneuver that. It is not. You still got to work hard. You still got to work that 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 job. They call it 9 to 5, but I see jobs now that's 8 to 4 and 9 to 5 or 7 to 3, whatever you want to call it. Monday through Friday. And there's others that work the part-times, got to work them on the weekends, or they pick up an extra job just to survive. And if you're living in the inner cities, the cost of living is going up. Which, by the way, I was on the phone earlier with one of my sisters, and she said the bank teller at that bank she goes to, she's like, oh, they're hiring. Oh, okay. And she looked, she said $15 an hour. I said, huh? I said, they're going to need to pay more than $15 an hour because inflation has gone up. And then you know what the lady I heard in the background say? The teller? Oh, well, they don't have much to do. I said, wow. Wow. $15 an hour for a teller. And this person said they don't have much to do. If you live in the DMV area, Northern Virginia, DC, Maryland area, you know where we live at. The cost of living is high. If you live in any place further up north, Delaware, New York, we can go across the border, Connecticut, New Jersey, Philadelphia. You can go further, anywhere. Michigan, keep going. The cost of living is expensive. The cost of living is expensive. And $15 an hour as a teller is not enough now because the apartment complexes are charging a lot. They are charging the price of what you would have had paid for a mortgage, which is now more than that. Heck, condos cost more than that. I'm starting to see people, big families starting to migrate in homes together more now than they ever did before, which some of them been doing it, but it's happening more now when you having more than 3 or 4 family incomes pulling in now. Because the struggle, as this says, is very real. The struggle is very real. So with that being said, we out here helping others. We have to help here first. Remember, help your household first. Because you're no good at helping other people's household. And then you're in debt. You're broke. You're homeless. You're going crazy. People running around here, living out their cars, living in the woods in tents. And we have that here too. I pass and I see people living in the woods in tents. You want to know something? The ones that live in the woods in the tents, they tell me they rather live like that anyway. You don't have to worry about paying a bill. Just pay for your vehicle, get you some food, save your money, and get what you need and learn how to ration. And learn how to just hand wash your clothes, or if you decide to want to take it to the laundromat, you do so. I'm not even mad at them for doing that. That's living off the radar. But there's some of us that act like we cannot survive like that. But you better wake up, because all these movies that's going on, that all Hollywood is putting out, that stuff from before even my time. It's happening now. It's not a prediction. They've been said it. They was letting us know that what they were going to do, and we were just foolish enough to just think it was just a daggone movie. The stuff is for real. So with that being said, we need to pay attention to that. For real, for real. But not going to stay on that too long. On another breaking news, and this one, guys, this one, guys, had me laughing. This one really had me laughing. And y'all gonna... I laughed because I thought it was a joke. I just couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. And then I said, nope, gotta believe it. So in breaking news, there was a man overseas. This man got over 219 COVID vaccinations. And the man's still alive. The man is still alive. This man had gotten over 217 COVID vaccinations. How did he do? I was trying to figure out how in the world he did that. I really am. I'm still trying to figure out how he did that. I really am. I don't even know how to put it into words. But let me finish pulling up this article and finding up for you guys. But this is, I don't even, all I could do was laugh when I looked at this. I was like, what in the world? Who in the world? What? So this is what happened to this guy. So this is what the article said. This was a guy that was in Germany who claims to have received 217 COVID-19 vaccinations within the past 2.5 years. No time. Anywhere you'll find it, you see it, it's the truth. And so this German prosecutor confirmed he had received 130 shots so far in 9 months during an investigation. So they wanted to try to see if this guy was committing fraud. So when he mentioned it, and I guess it came across the prosecution, and they decide, or whoever desk or whatever, they decide to go out there and find this guy, investigate him to see if he was fraudulently just taking vaccinations where probably other people could have a chance. Me, on the other hand, who am I to say about the vac? Or I should say, who am I to say about the V? That's a whole, I know everybody got their own thoughts / opinions / whatever you want to name it. However, this right here, they wanted to see if this guy was creating fraud, and ultimately they did not file criminal charges. It also states here that it's not clear why the man wanted to take the vax or how he obtained them. But after reading the report, the man's story, the scientists there decided and wanted to study how the vaccination affected his immune system. So they actually tested this guy. So in the process, they wanted to see if it affected the immune system. So the man who told the research he did not experience no side effects from it. He volunteered to provide blood and saliva, right, as a sample, and allowed them to have his health records so that they could better understand what effects aggressively stimulated the immune system with the 19 vac might have. So during their analysis, the man requested and received additional 2 COVID-19 shots against the advice of the study researchers. So he did it anyway. That's like, remember that time, guys, when this one guy, and it's kind of a little different. He went and did a little survey study on McDonald's. You're going to eat all them burgers and eat all McDonald's food, and you was healthy, and then you eat all McDonald's food, and the doctors tell you stop eating it because this is what it's doing to you now, and it might cause some more of this issue, and he going to still do it anyway. That's basically what I'm seeing here. But the difference is you shooting up with this. So anyway, they said that the man extreme vaccination is a history provided a unique opportunity for science to see whether hyper vaccination would be positive or negative, or to have positive negative effects on the immune system ability to respond to the pathogens like the virus, which is unclear, as they stated. So with that being said, the groups of that institution of the clinical microbiology and immunology and the hygiene in this area, they're still studying more. And would these shots enhance his immune response? Again, they don't know. And like we want to see with multiple vaccination and booster shots. Again, me personally, I believe in the natural order. Hey, sis, I see you on Instagram, huh? The natural order of your body. It's up to you. I don't advise it. Because every ethnic group's DNA may seem to be the same, but the DEA reverses are a little different. So on here, the team is still responding and checking on him. They measure by his body antibody levels and the first line of defense against the virus, his T cell levels, which are responsible for the body's longer term response to those of a control of 29 people who have received it. And they also saying, based on how his immune system worked, the team thought the man's immune system might mirror that of people with chronic infections, such as HIV and hepatitis B. Immune cells can become overwhelmed and start to mount weaker response. So they were expecting by this guy taking so many shots of the vac that his body would do as those who are infected with, those who are HIV or hepatitis and other autoimmune issues. So again, but that's not what they found. The man's antibody levels and the type of T cells called the effector T cells were 6 times higher than those in the control group on the average. Those with high levels provide that immune system response was wrong. Again, anybody who comes across this article or you hear me read about this on a disclaimer note, this podcast do not advise or promote that you take any of these and take this chance as this man did. I do not advise, nor do we recommend that you take on these chances. We are not healthcare professionals to do what this man has done. So with that being said, I say for those, take care of yourself, your well-being, your health. It's more important than any of that other foolishness that others do. He took a chance. Maybe he said, you know what? I'm going to do it because I believe it. Maybe his body is fighting. Maybe he has a technique what he does. Some people don't realize you spiritually and mentally, physically manifest your own healing process. So with that being said, I still do not advise it to all brothers and sisters across the world. But I had to share that with you guys. This right here blew my mind. And I was like, okay, that's a little too much for me. So please make sure that you are aware to not go and do what this man has done. Do not take over 200. Again, they only were able to notice 130 so far that they were able to go back and check. But do not do what this man did. He said 219. Let's not do that. Please don't. Please don't. I care about you, your well-being, your family's well-being, and all of the above. I do not wish to see anything happen to you or anyone later on in life. Because again, some of these things cause issues later. But yet it depends on you, how you deal with stress, how you deal with your mentality, your mindset, the manifestation in your life. Some people believe in that stuff. Some people don't. For myself, I do, because I have seen what it has done for me, the manifestation of healing and thought and process, and realizing the Christo lives in me, that I am the Christo, and more of the above. So with that being said, I thank you guys for chiming in tonight. Make sure that you check your sister out. My album will be coming out on 4/4/2024. I put my trust in you. I am on YouTube. You can find me on all social media platforms. You can also, if you're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, or on Facebook social media, you can find me on my link tree. Click on that bio. You will see all my inspirational songs. You will also see that your sister is a birthing doula and postpartum doula with my sister, Tacha, who has her own podcast and talking on Spotify, where she said, listen, let's talk about it. Amazing. Go ahead and check her out. She is up there on Mondays, so don't be ashamed. There are other amazing podcasters out there. Don't be ashamed to share the amazing things that they're doing. Please go out here and be an advocate against what is going on in America against us, because it is time that we stand and fight against what we supposed to be fighting for here. Remember, let's take care of home first before we go out there and help other people, guys, because we're going through a lot more here than ever before. It's going to get worse in the next 5 years. If we don't see it, we better to get it together. Hopefully that we can get it together and deal with people that actually are going to be for us. Let us deal with each other and be there for each other. We don't have to like each other. We ain't got to get along, but we do got to work together some kind of way. Let's also teach our children to not be like others. Let's not promote racism and discrimination. Let us be fair. For those, practice what you preach. Don't be up here talking about all lives matter, because if all lives matter, we would not be continuing to still go through what we're going through. If all lives matter, we still would not be going through what we're going through. So practice what you preach. Protect yourselves out here. I've seen too many police, sheriffs all across. They're pulling people over. I've been seeing the stuff that I shouldn't have seen. I had to help a sister out one day. I didn't like what I was seeing. And I know sometimes, like my spouse, my husband, he'd be like, look, you got to worry about, focus on you. But if I see a sister being attacked, I would expect her to help me. So we all need to fight for each other and fight for what's right. Fight for what's right. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Fight for what's right. This ain't the first fight we've been in. This won't be the last. It's going to go on from generation to generation. So make sure y'all hit me up. Check out the website. Go ahead. Check me out. I'm loving it. Always follow your sister. Again, keep an eye on my new song that's coming up. Thank you guys who always support me and show love. I know some of you just getting to know me. I am Cynthia J. This is my podcast, the Cynthia J Show. It's holding us women accountable, but also giving you updates and news on what's going on and with me and our brothers and sisters all across the nation. Make sure you also go up and check on one another. Make sure you see somebody needs some help them. Just make sure you guys are protecting y'all social media pages from hackers. Make sure you're going out here, you're educating the young generation what to look out for. Keep your kids off of these social medias as possible. Parents, I don't always condone it, but it's causing a rift in the households and it's in the schools. It's a lot going on. So protect your children, protect yourself, protect your family. Stay blessed, stay positive. I love you guys. And continue to follow me again. Get up there, like I said, and check out my page. I wish I had more to give you, but peace and love. I thank you guys for joining me today on the Cynthia J Show, holding us women accountable. Tune in next week. It's going to be on some deep topics dealing with bullying with our children. And also the week after that, it's going to be on us being divided as men and women, and it's social media dividing us. So I love you guys. Peace and love. Stay blessed. All my TikTok followers, stay blessed. To my Restream followers, don't be ashamed. Hit that like button, subscribe. If you're looking for some CMOS, hit your sister up. Your sister this Tuesday been busy on CMOS right here in the DMV area. Do not miss out. Right here in the DMV area. If you need some CMOS, hit your sister up. Do not sleep on me. Reach out. I love you guys. You can also email me under cynthiaj.gospel. Make sure you do that. Don't be ashamed. So peace and love and blessings. You guys stay blessed. Go ahead. Share it. Don't be ashamed. Share that link. Hit that button. Don't be ashamed. Peace to you guys on TikTok. To see you guys on Instagram. Love you guys. Stay blessed.